exist. This is the website. I'll show you the demonstration after that. They collect information from publicly known breaches, and they let you check whether your email appeared in a leaked databases or not. And in a few minutes, we will test it live also. Maybe with one of your emails, if anybody is interested, or is anyone is brave enough. So we will check their email. But before that, let me quickly introduce myself first. So hello everyone again. I'm Chahat. I work as a cybersecurity trainer at HackySecurity. And honestly, I did not start as some genius hacker. I started by learning basics. I started by practicing labs, doing CTF. CTFs are capture the flag, and using free resources and staying consistent. And a lot of people think that cybersecurity is only for the super genius programmers. But that's completely false. It's not like that. When I started, even Linux commands confused me. But now, slowly, practice builds the consistency and the confidence in me. So, if anyone here feels that cybersecurity looks interesting, but it is difficult to do, that's normal. Like every expert was once a beginner, right? And today, I want to make cybersecurity feel practical and real, not just a theory. So, now let's talk about why cyber attacks are becoming such a massive issue worldwide. Because cyber attacks are no longer rare events, right? They are happening everywhere. So, like many people think cyber attacks only happen to big tech companies, right? But the truth is that cyber attack can affect government, hospitals, companies, banks, students, or even normal smartphone users. So today, cyber warfare is as dangerous as physical warfare. So first of all, you can see in the screen, in the slide, this Stuxnet. So Stuxnet was not just a malware; it was a famous cyber attack ever. Like it specifically targeted Iran's nuclear facilities. Has anyone heard about it before? Just raise your hand, whoever heard about it. Himani and Shikha, your hands are already raised. Okay. Prisha, you have heard about it, the Stuxnet attack. All right. Okay. So what made Stuxnet extremely dangerous was that it didn't just steal the data. It physically damaged machines. Like that, the malware spread mainly through the infected USB drives. Like once inside the network, it targeted industrial control systems that were used to control the nuclear configurations. And here's the scary part that the malware secretly changed the speed of the machines, like speeding them up or slowing them down while showing the fake normal readings to the operators. So the engineers believed that everything was fine, but while the machines were slowly destroying themselves. So this attack shows that the world is something that is very terrifying. That cyber attacks can now damage real world infrastructure also. That's interesting, right? So today attacks have become even more common. You have probably heard about ransomware attacks, locking the company data, the phishing scam, the data leak, the banking frauds, the hospital systems getting attacked, and there are many more. So you don't even need sophisticated malware anymore. Sometimes one phishing email, one leaked password, or one untrained employee is enough for any cyber attack. Even you can see here the JLR. So even the large organizations who have huge budget, they have also faced the cyber incident. And that tells us one important thing that no system is 100% secure. So in cybersecurity, the weakest point is often not technology, but it's human awareness. Okay, and this brings us to something very important, the data breaches that happens. Basically, like a data breach happens when attackers gain unauthorized access to the company's database. And when that happens, users data get leaked. So, like depending on the breach, the emails, usernames, phone numbers, passwords, also addresses, birthdays, even your payment related information, they can get exposed. And many times, people don't even know the information leaks. So let's actually check this in real life. I'm going to open Have I Been Pawned? So anyone interested to give me their email address? I'll check it for you guys. You can put your email address in the chat. Anyone interested? I'll just check their email address and I'll tell them, okay, Mr. Pranav is volunteer. I'll check his email. All right. So this site is not about hacking anything or something. It simply checks whether this email appeared in any known public breach database or not. So, like if we see any breaches here, it means that some platform has used this email or it was compromised at some time. Okay, let me paste it here. I'll check it. Okay, all right. That's interesting that there was one data breach that was on one win, that is a betting platform. All right. So the data that was compromised is the date of birth, email addresses, geographic locations, IP address, passwords, and phone numbers. Okay, that's very important for you, Pranav, to change your password. Never reuse your password and always change your password after a week or after a month. So this is why password reuse becomes dangerous. Like if one leaked password matches your Instagram, Gmail, or Netflix, or even your banking password, attackers try it everywhere. So that's why cybersecurity is not only about hacking; it's also about digital awareness. Is anyone interested to check their email ID? Okay. All right. So this is the website. I'll show you one more important thing. When you go to HackySecurity website, you can just go to HackySecurity website, and when you go there, you will get access to some free tools. And it is also integrated here, the Have I Been Pawned. You can just click on Try Free Lab, and when you go there, you will get options of the free tools. DNS, Whois, IPsec, SSL. Okay, it's Swagger. You can check your email ID by your own by going to this tool on the Hacky Security. You will just go to the breach check. When you go to this breach check tool, you will just simply paste your email address here, and you can just click on check breaches, and all of the information will go there. And you can also go to Have I Been Pawned website from here, haveibeenpawned.com. You will go redirected to this real website. Okay, so now coming here, all right. So now let's think like attackers for a moment. Like if you were a hacker, what would you target first? So let's do something interesting. For the next 1 minute, I want all of you to think like an attacker. Like if you were a hacker, what would you target first? You can just put your thinking in the chat box. Like what do you think you would hack first? You can just put your response in the chat. Yes, I'm waiting for your response. What would you guys target first if you were a hacker? The Instagram account, the bank account, the college website, gaming website or something? Okay, the Wi-Fi. Okay, social accounts, Mr. Pranav. Okay, Himani Kumari says bank account, all right. Palak Thakur also says bank account. Okay, so tell me honestly, like, what do you think hackers target the most? Most of you think like hackers only attack the banks, right? But actually, attackers usually target the easiest victim first. They don't target the bank directly, the Instagram account directly or something. They target the easiest victim first. Like hackers love the weak passwords, reused passwords, the fake login pages, exposed websites, the careless users, and outdated systems. And they don't always look for the strongest target. They look for the weakest door first. And you can see the examples like where college websites get defaced, not because attackers are genius, but because websites were outdated, passwords were weak, and even the security was ignored. So in cybersecurity, convenience without security becomes a vulnerability. So it's very important. So now the question becomes, how do hackers actually think then? If they don't attack the bank account first, how do they think like? So one of the biggest misconception about hacking is that people think hackers randomly attack systems. So it's not like that. Real attackers are usually very patient. They first of all they observe, they analyze, and then they exploit the mistakes. Real hackers, they don't break systems first. They study people first, and like they look for things like employees sharing information online, people using weak passwords, students clicking random internship links, or users trusting the fake website, or companies failing to train employees also. For example, let's say if an attacker knows your birthday, your pet name, or a favorite football team, so they may guess your password easily, right? If you have put your password in that way. So cybersecurity is not only about the technology. It's also about the psychology, your behavior, your awareness, and your decision making of creating a password or clicking a link or something. Because the best hackers are not always the best coders also. Sometimes they are just the best manipulators. Just keep this in mind. And today, the problem is growing faster than ever before. So the main problem is that today, cybercrime has become one of the fastest growing threats in the world because studies shows that a huge percentage of cyber attacks actually begin with human error. All right. That means not advanced malware, not Hollywood style hacking, but just a simple mistake. Things like clicking phishing links, downloading fake software, using weak passwords, ignoring updates, sharing OTPs or something. And companies today spend millions of cybersecurity tools. They spend millions. And but attackers will still succeed. They succeed because human make mistakes because a single careless click inside a company network, it can sometimes lead to ransomware attack, data leaks, financial loss, or something. And that's why cybersecurity awareness is now just as important as the technical security. So let's look at some common mistakes that attackers exploit every single day. So here you can see this slide represents one of the biggest truths in cybersecurity that most hacks start with human mistakes. Attackers create fake links that look real, and for example, like fake Instagram login pages. Akshita Sharma, please mute yourself. Akshita Sharma, can you hear me? Can you please mute yourself? Okay, all right. So attackers create fake links that look real, like Instagram login pages or bank websites, fake internship forms, and the fake OTP verification pages. And everything may look genuine to you guys, but the moment the user enters their credential, the attacker steals them. And another huge problem is the weak password that I have already shown you. Like people still use passwords like 123456 or the password as a password, your mobile number or your birthday. And many users reuse the same password everywhere, like for every account. So if one website gets breached, then all your accounts become vulnerable. So always use different passwords for your different accounts. And another example is public Wi-Fi because it is also another common risk. Imagine connecting to a free Wi-Fi at an airport, railway station, cafe, or a college. But if attacker control the network, they may intercept the traffic or they can redirect users to fake pages. I'll explain it to you in detail after that. And another example is fake apps. These are also dangerous. Some apps contain spyware. Akshita Sharma, please mute yourself. Some apps contain like malware, spyware, or the credential stealers. That's why downloading apps from unknown sources is a risk. Like some of us download fake apps just for the free subscription or just for our ease, but it is dangerous to download any random fake app. Now, here's something that is very important that many cyber attacks happen not because companies lack technology, but because employees are not trained. Like, if employees cannot identify phishing emails, don't verify suspicious links, or ignore security practices, attackers only need one mistake. That is enough for them to attack. So, in cybersecurity, humans are often both the first target or the first line of defense. So, now let's test something that is practical. How do security researchers check whether a suspicious link or file is dangerous or not? So now let's look at something that is visible on the screen. It is very practical. Suppose you receive a suspicious link, guys, or unknown file or the fake internship PDF or suspicious website. How do you check whether it's malicious or not? So one very popular platform that is used by the security researcher is the Virus Total tool. So it is a free online security analysis platform. It allows users to scan URLs, scan files, scan domains, and check whether something is suspicious. I'll show it to you guys. Just I'll search the tool here. All right. So it doesn't magically hack or clean the system. It simply analyzes suspicious content that use multiple security engines. Let me quickly show you how it works. Like when you open Virus Total website, here you can see different options: the file, the URL, and the search option. So in URL scanning, like in several engines, like suppose I receive a suspicious website link on a WhatsApp or email. So instead of opening it directly, I can paste the link here, the URL link here, and then if Virus Total scans the URL using multiple antivirus and threat intelligence engine, and if it flagged it as a phishing link, I will not click on it. So, and if it is safe to open, then I can trust it. So, like if several engines flag the URL as malicious, that's a major warning sign. It may include the phishing, the malware hosting, the credential stealing, scam websites, or the suspicious behavior also. You can also see the community comments here, uh, and also the behavior analysis, the domain reputation, and the technical details in this Virus Total page. But remember that Virus Total is a support tool only. Like even if a URL shows clean here, you should still be careful because many phishing pages look real, like identical to the real website. But attackers copy logos, login pages, colors, and the branding. So awareness matters more than the tool. Here you can see the example, the Instagram login page. It may look real to you, like it's the real Instagram login page, but it can be a phishing link. So that's why awareness is important. Honestly, like if you received a fake internship mail from a company logo that you trust, let's say from Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and all, would you verify it carefully or you will just click on it? Can you just raise your hand, whoever think they will verify it? All right. Himani Kurana and Sneha Rajput, you will verify it. Okay, but most of us blindly trust the company logo that this email is from Amazon or it is from Google, that then we will click on it. We have got internship. So you don't have to trust it blindly. Cybersecurity today is not about being paranoid. It's about being aware about the technology and about the attacks. So now that we understand how attackers think and how users make mistakes, let's look at the actual workflow that hackers follow during attacks. So here you can see the hacker's workflow. That one thing that I want everyone to understand is that hackers do not randomly type commands and magically break systems. It's not like that. Real attackers usually follow a process. First, they gather information, they find weakness, then they exploit mistakes, and then they try to gain access. So think of it like planning a robbery. Like if a thief doesn't immediately break into a building, first they observe the location, identify weak entry points, understand the security, and then they attack. So attackers think simply in that way. And interestingly, ethical hackers use the same process. But the difference is that ethical hackers work with permission to identify and to fix weakness. That's the difference. Okay, so let's go to the first step that hackers follow. So reconnaissance. It is the reconnaissance that is the first step. So reconnaissance simply means collecting information before attacking. Like most people unknowingly expose huge amount of information online. Like attackers may use Google, LinkedIn, who is lookup, DNS, hacking recon, social media, and all the specialized search engines. And the scary part is that much of this information is public. So let's start this with very something that is very simple. That is Google. Like most people think that Google is only a search engine for websites, right? But attackers also use it for information gathering. For example, company employee names, PDFs, login portals, exposed documents, emails, or the technology information. We will go to the Hacky Security tools again. When we click on it, you can just go above. You can just look for who is that I have mentioned in the slide also. When you click on it, so who is looking to identify information related to the domain registration. Like when you enter any domain name, like let's say google.com, and when you run lookup, it will scan for the public information that is available for the Google. It scans for the information. Also, you can go to who is on the Google web browser also. It is the official website of who is. So it may show your domain registrar. You can also enter IP address here. And when you click on search, you can see information about this domain, like the CREDR range, the net name. You can see the organization name, Google, and all of the information, the city, Mountain View, postal code, country, and all. This information is not publicly available, but we can recon it using these types of tools. So this doesn't mean hacking. Like this is simply gathering publicly available metadata that is not normally available to every user. So now let's look at something even more interesting. Anyone here, have you ever heard about Shodan before? Shodan? Can you just raise your hand? Anyone who have heard about the Shodan? Okay, no worries. Shodan is often called the search engine for internet connected devices. Unlike Google, which indexes websites, Shodan indexes servers, the cameras, routers, IoT devices, industrial systems, and the exposed services. This is why organizations must properly secure internet-facing devices. You can also search here like 8.8.8.8. This is the public IP of the Google. You can search and you will also get the same information. You can also see open ports here. The ports that are open for the google.com, port number 53 and port number 443. You can see information about it. So this is how these tools work. So we are not using this to target anything. The purpose is only to understand like how exposed systems can become visible online. And Shodan is not the only platform. There are many reconnaissance tools and search engines that are used in cybersecurity. So in cybersecurity, information itself can become a vulnerability. As you can see here, you can gather information publicly and then use as an attack also. Okay, once attacker collect information, that is scanning. So after reconnaissance, attackers try to understand what services are running on a system. So think of ports like doors in a building. So hackers scan for the open ports. Here you can see some examples in the slide. Port number 22 that is used for SSH, port 21 for FTP, port 80 for HTTP and all. So these are different services that use different ports. For example, you can see here. So if unnecessary ports are open, they may increase attack surface for the attackers. And one of the most popular tools that we use for network scanning is Nmap. I'll show it to you, the Nmap tool. It is the Nmap tool that is available online on the Google. You can search for Nmap tool for Windows or whichever operating system you are using, Nmap for Mac, Nmap for Linux also. So you can just simply search for Nmap for Windows and you can go to this. So basically, Nmap is used by ethical hackers, security analysts, system administrators, and network engineers because it helps to identify open ports, running services, and basic network information. Ports are more important because ports are the starting and ending point of any communication. Those are devices connecting on a network. It is the starting and ending point of any communication. So let me show you a simple example. When you search for again Google IP here, and you can just click on scan, it will scan it for you. The scan is running. So Nmap now checks which ports responded and what services appear active. And also we may see open ports here that we have already seen in the Shodant also that the open ports are 53 and 443 and they are using the protocol TCP. So in this way, you can check for the open ports, filter ports, or the closed ports. So this helps defender to understand what is exposed publicly. Like unauthorized scanning of system without permission is unethical and they may violate laws. So you also must have permissions to do it. So ethical hackers only test systems that they are authorized to access. Scanning is basically like checking which doors and windows are open. Okay, so when attacker discover weakness, the next phase is exploitation. So now exploitation means taking advantage of a weakness. This weakness could be weak passwords, outdated software, exposed services, vulnerable applications, or human mistakes. Like Hollywood movies often show hacking as an instant magic, right? But it's not like that. In reality, many attacks succeed because security basics were ignored. For example, software not updated, default passwords left unchanged, employees tricked by phishing, exposed databases, or vulnerable websites. So ethical hackers perform controlled exploitation only to the verify vulnerabilities, only to measure the risk, and only to help organization to fix their issue. This is the working of ethical hacker. The goal is of ethical hackers is never destruction. The goal is prevention. So the earlier organization identify weakness, the safer they become. So now that we understand the hacker process, let's compare ethical hackers and criminal hackers. So this is one of the most important slides in this workshop. Like people often hear the word hacker and immediately think a criminal, right? But it's not like that. Whoever think like hackers are only criminals, can you just raise your hands? What do you think, guys? You can just put it in the chat box. What do you think? Are hackers only criminals? Yes, I'm waiting for your response. You can just raise your hand and put it in the chat box. Okay, Sneha Rajput thinks no. Okay, Palak Rajput also said no. Okay, that's correct. Hacking itself is a skill. The real difference is the intention. Like ethical hackers work with permission, they help organizations, they identify weakness and report vulnerabilities that are responsible for the systems. They help companies to become more secure. Yes, exactly, Mr. Pranav. Hackers are not criminal always. They can be savior also. So criminal hackers do the opposite. Like they attack without permission, they steal information, they exploit vulnerabilities, they spread malware, or they can perform fraud also. So same skills. Both the hackers have same skills, the ethical hacker or the criminal hackers, but they have different intentions. That's the difference. So today, ethical hackers work in banks, government, security companies, hospitals, and even large tech companies. So cybersecurity is powerful knowledge, and powerful knowledge must be used responsibly also, right? So now let's understand something most users never think about. That is how websites actually recognize you online. So have you ever noticed something strange? Like you search for shoes once and suddenly advertisements for shoes appear everywhere. Have you ever noticed this? Can you just raise your hand? All right. Aman Kashyap, Himani. Okay, so that's because websites collect and remember information that about the users, like whatever search we do or something, they just recognize us, they collect the information. And every time you visit a website, the small piece of information are exchanged. Like your browser may share things like IP address of your system, the browser type, the device information, location approximation, and browsing behavior also. The one major technology used for this is the cookies. Have you guys heard about cookies before? Yes. And most of us just blindly click on accept all cookies, right? Whoever clicks on accept all without reading the cookies, can you just put it in the chat box or raise your hand? Okay, Palak Thakur, you just blindly click on accept all cookies. Okay, there is no issue in this. Like cookies are like tiny memory nodes that are stored in your browser. They help websites to remember logins, preference, sessions, shopping carts, and the user activity. Some cookies improve your experience, like when you search for it, you'll randomly get more advertisements about that search. So this is how cookies are used, while others are used for tracking and advertising. So every click online, it leaves some kind of digital footprints also. So in cybersecurity, data is extremely valuable. So what actually happens technically when you visit a website is the website stores a tiny information about you in the form of cookie. We will also do dark web also after some time. Let's do this first. Okay, So now the question is, what happens when you visit a website? How website recognize you and what happens when you visit a website? So whenever you open a website, your browser and the server, they start communicating. Like you send the request to the browser and that request goes to the server and then server responds. Okay, so this is how it works. Let's say your browser sends a request that I want this web page. And then the server responds with the web page data, right? So this is how the flow works. But here's the interesting part, that how does the website remember that you are logged in? So that's where cookies and sessions come in. Let me show you. Like imagine logging into Instagram, and after login, the website gives your browser a session identifier. I'll show it to you. Let's open let's open a Chrome, another web browser. What will I do? I'll just search for any random account where I have logged. Okay. Don't worry. So what will happen that it is a tool that is cookie editor. When you go on this, you have to install it manually. When you go on this tool, what you do is you go to export and just click on JSON. The cookies are copied in your clipboard, and when you go to another browser, what you do, you can just simply go to another web browser. The cookie editor extension must also be installed in this browser also, and then you can just simply paste that cookie in this, and you can just simply log in without using any password or something. So this is how cookies work, because cookies collect tiny information about you. They create session and all. Let me show you how sessions look like. Like when you open a browser, let's say, let's go to this, and you click on, just go to new tab. When you right click on the page, you go to inspect. This page may contain the session identifier. When you go to this memory application, and here you can see the session storage, you will get different links. These are the links to the session storage. And then you can see cookies here. These are the cookies that are available about your browser, google.org and all. In this way, the cookies, they contain your session identifier, the preferences, the tracking information, and authentication related data. This doesn't mean that websites automatically are evil. Cookies are essential for many websites to function properly. So this is why it is done. So what is the security point of view of cookies? So it is that if attackers steal the session information, they can sometimes impersonate user. Like that's why protecting accounts and session is more important. Like whenever you log in into account, there is some session ID. And if you just put random session ID, like an ID after your session ID, you will get logged into some other account. This is how session IDs work. But nowadays, session IDs are hashed, they are encrypted. You cannot just simply put any random session ID and log into another user, but it can also be used by attackers. So this is how it works. Sometimes the biggest danger is not a malware, it is the exposed data. So now let's look at another interesting concept, that how attackers uh, manipulate. So So this is how attackers manipulate requests. Like whenever you interact with the website, your browser sends request to the server, and the server processes it and sends a response. But attackers sometimes they try to manipulate those requests. They may try to change parameters, modify inputs, bypass restrictions, or trick applications. For example, let's say suppose a website, it expects your role as a user, but an attacker may try changing values, hoping the application is insecure. You can see the example here. The normal request looks like username, user, and role guest. So attacker can change the input like username as admin and role as administrator just to check if it is secure or not, or if it is not secure, the attacker can get administrator access of the website. So secure applications validate everything properly on the server side. They cannot easily get hacked, but insecure websites can easily be got hacked. So that's why server side and client side validation is more important. So ethical hackers, those are developers, they never trust user input blindly. They always verify the validation, the server side and the client side. This is why secure coding, the validation, authentication, and access control, these are extremely important. It's similar to someone that is trying to edit a visitor pass to enter a restricted room. So ethical hackers test applications safely to identify these weaknesses before criminals exploit them. Okay, but in the online world, there's another major problem, that is not everything you see online is real. Okay, now let me show you one of the biggest tricks that is used online nowadays. That is fake websites. Like, how many you have received fake Instagram messages, fake giveaway links, fake internship form, or fake bank alert? Can you just put it in the chat box or raise your hand? How many you have got this? Okay, it's Vegas. All right. So this is exactly attackers love copying trusted brands. Like, look carefully at these two websites. This one looks real also, and this one also looks real. Okay, both look real, but you have to look carefully. One small difference in the URL, it can completely change everything. You can see here the Instagram with double A and Instagram with single A. That's the difference. So attackers are basically professional copy paste artists, you can say. They copy logos, they copy colors, layout, login pages, and even security looking icons. So most users only look at the page, and security aware users look at the domain name also. Like, what is the name? They check full URL link. For example, you can see in the screen. So now, one important thing, that people think if there's a HTTPS and a lock icon, it must be safe, right? How many of you think like this? Like, if you are visiting the HTTPS website with a lock icon, it is safe to browse. Okay, Soumya. Okay, Soumya thinks so. So this is not always like, when you use HTTPS, it's not always secure. HTTPS only means the connection is encrypted. Like, it doesn't guarantee that the website is trustworthy. It just means that the communication that will happen between you and that website, it will be encrypted. So next time, before entering your password, you must pause for 3 seconds and you must check the spelling, domain, unexpected pop-ups, weird urgency, and the suspicious pages. Because one wrong click can expose your password, your banking details, your email, and even your personal data. So when suspicious files or alerts appear, who actually investigate them? So it is the answer. This is where cybersecurity becomes really interesting, because security analysts are basically digital investigators. They investigate the attacks. Imagine like thousands of computers, million of logs, and constant alerts. And analysts try to identify, is this normal activity or an actual attack? So usually the process looks like this. They detect, and then they analyze, they investigate, they respond, and then if anything suspicious happens, then they will report it. An analyst may investigate things like suspicious logins, malware detection, malicious URL, phishing emails, or unusual network activity. For example, suppose an employee suddenly logs in from India at 2 p.m. and another country at 2 5 p.m. So that's suspicious, right? It is not physically possible to one person be available in India at 2 p.m. and then in 5 minutes he is in another country. So that is suspicious. Security teams also use the threat intelligence, malware analysis, and IOC indicators. So yes, real cybersecurity jobs sometimes feel like detective work, and that is mixed with the technology. And this is what SOC analysts, incident responders, and threat hunters do daily. So in cybersecurity, every alert matters until it is provenly safe. So that's how it works. And many times, all it takes to start an attack is one careless link. So you must always verify it before clicking on any link or any website. Okay, so let's walk through a very common attack scenario, that is a single click can trigger an attack. So here's the scenario that in step one, the victim receives a suspicious email, like maybe something like internship opportunity, job offer, exam results, invoice, delivery update, or any urgent account warning. Then attacker love the urgency because panic reduces thinking. Whenever you get any type of link, if it is urgent, you will click on any link when if you are panicked. So this is what attackers love the most. So now the user clicks the attachment or the link, and this is the dangerous moment when user click on it because malware silently executes in the background. When you click on any link, the malware may steal password, monitor activity, create backdoors, or give attackers remote access. And finally, attackers steal your data or gain access to accounts. And one click, and that's it. No movie hacking, no 10 screens full of code, just one curious link and your data is get stolen. So this is how it works. So honestly, how many of you download random PDFs or cracked software? Can you just raise your hand? Can you guys just raise your hand whoever downloads any random PDF, any random cracked software, any application? Okay, okay, it's Vegas. All right, so that's why awareness matters the most. And another place where people become careless is the public Wi-Fi. Now imagine the situation. You are sitting in a cafe or an airport, a hotel or college campus, and you see free Wi-Fi. You get excited, right? By seeing the free Wi-Fi, you just curiously click on it and connect to it. How many of you do this? Can you just can you just raise your hand? How many of you connect to free Wi-Fi? Okay, Palak Thakur does this. Anyone? Okay, Manjeet, Durgesh. Okay, all right. And if you click on free Wi-Fi, you connect to it, and suddenly everyone becomes a network engineer. Like people connect instantly, right? When you click on any Wi-Fi. But attackers can create fake hotspot that looks legitimate. Like you think you connected to cafe Wi-Fi, but actually you get connected to free cafe Wi-Fi that is created by an attacker. This is how they legitimate Wi-Fi. If attackers control the network, they may monitor traffic, they may redirect user to fake websites or any malware or something. They may capture sensitive information, or they can also launch phishing attacks. So modern HTTPS protection, it helps a lot today. But unsafe browsing and fake pages, they are still dangerous. So avoid banking on public Wi-Fi, entering sensitive passwords, or downloading unknown files. Like also using trusted VPNs and mobile hotspots, it is usually safer. When you are using a public Wi-Fi, you can use VPN also because convenience can sometimes become a security risk for you. But honestly, most cyber attacks don't start with technology first, they start with emotions. So, this is one of my favorite topics in cybersecurity, that is social engineering. So, basically, social engineering means manipulating people instead of breaking the system. Because hackers understand human psychology extremely well, right? They create fear. For example, your account will be suspended. And when people panic, they stop thinking carefully. Has anybody does this before? Anybody know about what is social engineering? You can just put it in the chat box. Or has anyone faced this? Any fake link, any social engineering link or something? You can just simply put it in the chat box. Okay. You can simply raise your hands also if you have ever got any SMS, any urgency link where you got a message like your account will be suspended, need your KYC and all. All right. So then comes the urgency. Okay, Durgesh, it is basically a psychological manipulation. Yes. Pranav says social engineering is basically emotionally manipulating the target to get him or her to do urgent actions, right? That is absolutely correct. So, in urgency, you can take example of like act within 5 minutes. Attackers don't want you to think; they just want you to react immediately. And then comes trust. They also exploit trust, like using company logo, fake HR messages, bank branching, or verified looking pages. So they also break trust also. And then comes the curiosity. Then comes the curiosity. For example, see who viewed your profile, your photos got leaked, exam paper leaked, celebrity scandal or something. And humans are easier to hack than computers sometimes, right? And do you guys agree with me? Humans are easier to hack than humans sometimes. Okay, Palak Thakur agrees with me. Okay, so basically that's why even secure companies still conduct phishing simulation. Okay, Aman Kashyap also thinks. Okay, so many companies conduct phishing simulations, awareness training, and employee security programs. So be honest, how many who have clicked something online first and thought later? You can just raise your hand or put it in the chat box. How many you have clicked something online first and then thought about it later? No one? Okay. No one have ever clicked. Okay, Mr. Pranav has never clicked on any link. Okay, Kashyap has done this before. Okay, so that's actually a human psychology because attackers love this when you click on any link and they get to steal your data and then you think about it later. So social engineering works because it targets the human mind before the computer. And now attackers are becoming even more powerful because they are using artificial intelligence too. So that's more interesting. Like we are entering the modern era of cybercrime. Like attackers are no longer doing everything manually. They are using AI, the artificial intelligence. Okay, a quick question to all of you. How many you have used ChatGPT, Gemini, or AI tools? Okay, most of you guys have does this. Aman Kashyap, Palak Thakur. Okay, now imagine cyber criminals using the same technology. This is how they do this. The AI powered cybercrime. AI can now create fake videos called deepfakes also. You guys must have heard about it also. You may see a celebrity saying something fake, a politician speaking words they never said, or even your friend's face edited into a video. So this part is honestly scary. And AI can clone your voices also. Imagine getting a call from your friend, your boss, or even a family member, and that voice sounds exactly real. So that's also scary, right? And most people think that I would never fall for scams. Most of you think. Can you just raise your hand, whoever think that they will never fall for scams? Okay, you can just think you will never fall for scam. The scam sounds exactly the someone they trust. Okay, like earlier, phishing emails were easy to detect, like bad grammar, weird spelling, or obvious scams. Now, AI writes professional-looking emails in seconds, and attackers also create fake online identities using AI, fake LinkedIn profiles, Instagram accounts, resumes, profile pictures, or even fake employees. So today, don't trust something online because it looks professional, it sounds real, or has a human face. Because AI is becoming everyone's assistant, not only yours, it can be assistant to a hacker also, including cyber criminals. And speaking of things about people misunderstood online, let's now talk about the dark web. So here, whenever people hear about dark web, they imagine hitmen, secret hackers, red rooms, and movie-style cybercrimes, right? But reality is very different. The dark web is not a magic, it's not another internet, it's an opening Tor browser because it's not an instantly, it doesn't make you instantly criminal when you open a Tor browser. The here you can see the top visible part is surface web. This is what we normally use, the Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all. And these pages are indexed by search engines. And then now below that, there is deep web. This includes email, cloud storage, banking portals, company dashboards, private database, or they call it portals. And most of the internet, it is actually deep web and it's completely normal. And then comes the dark web. Many of you have heard about it. Can you just raise your hand? Can you just raise your hand? Whoever heard about the dark web before? This part usually uses the special privacy-focused network like Tor. So Tor stands for the Onion browser. Why Onion? The question is because your traffic gets wrapped in multiple layers of encryption, like layers of an onion. Let me just show you. Here's the Tor browser. When you use Tor, your traffic doesn't go directly to the website. Instead, it bounces through multiple random servers around the world. It doesn't directly go to a server and get your response. It passes through multiple servers for the because it uses multiple layers. So it's like instead of directly visiting a shop, you travel through India, to Germany, then Brazil, then Canada before reaching the destination. So dark web websites usually end with .onion, and these are called onion services. And yes, people also use Tor for completely normal reasons. You can just simply search for any thing like cybersecurity, and you will get information about it. It's completely normal. For example, people use it for privacy, for bypassing censorship, for journalism, anonymous communication, and for research purpose. But in some countries, like journalists and activities use Tor for safety also, and it's completely normal. And then, like every technology, it can also be misused. Like some criminals use the dark web for illegal marketplaces, the stolen data, the phishing kit. malware sales, and anonymous communication also. So the dark web itself is not an evil. It is a technology, but the danger depends on how people use it. Just like Linux can run a hospital server or power a hacker lab. So that is how dark web also can be used for both the purpose, for the normal user and for the attack also. So privacy tools are not criminal tools. Like intent matters the most. And one of the biggest business on underground forums is the stolen data. Let's come to this. Most people think after a data breach, their data just leaks somewhere, right? But cybercrime today is a business. First, a company gets breached, then attackers steal emails, passwords, phone numbers, or credit card details, even your cookies, your personal information also. And then this data gets sold on underground forums and marketplaces. Let me just show you. You can go to EMEA. It just EMEA just lets you to search for hidden services. You can just search here simply Instagram leaked credentials. You can search for it. It will give you the database of it. I'll just show you. When you go to this link, you can just simply copy the link. You can go to the Tor browser, and this data gets sold on underground forums. I'll show you how it do. You just simply paste this link on it. You can also see here the .onion because it is the dark web link. You can see here now for $20, the Instagram data is getting sold. Database of 49 million users, it is getting sold for just $20. Pay with cryptocurrency, I'll just explain it to you. Payment methods are usually done using cryptocurrencies. For example, okay, let me just go to it. They just give you options to pay online through cryptocurrencies, for example, the Bitcoin, the Monero, or the Litecoin, because crypto provides varying levels of anonymity and it makes tracing transactions harder. Different data has different value. For example, gaming accounts are cheap, and Netflix accounts are common, bank logins are expensive, then corporate access is very expensive. So somewhere online, people are literally bargaining over stolen passwords. Sometimes attackers see huge combo lists, like millions of emails plus password combinations. So you can just see here the 49 million user data is just for the $20. So this is how attackers sell your data. That's why we checked have I been pawned earlier. Like if your email appears in breaches, then attackers may try credential stuffing, the phishing, account takeover, or identity fraud. Can you just simply raise your hand, whoever found it interesting? How many of you knew about it before? The selling of data online? All right. Now quickly moving to the cybersecurity careers. Okay. How many you have? We will go to direct cybersecurity career paths and certification directly because it covers all of the content in it. Because a lot of students think cybersecurity requires genius level coding, expensive degrees, or years of experience, right? Many of you think about it. But honestly, you mainly need curiosity, consistency, and hands on practice. In step one, you just simply learn the basics like networking, Linux, HTTP, HTTPS, operating system, the DNS or IP addresses. You don't start with hacking websites. As a beginner, you first understand how systems normally work. And then comes practical learning, tools and platforms like Try Hack Me, Hack the Box, Wireshark Labs, Sports Academy. And also, let me just show you, when you go to Hacky Security website, here you can also find the try free CTF. You can launch a CTF here. CTF is capture the flag. These are just mainly designed. These are just the hacking labs for your learning purpose. You can launch a lab and practice any of the labs, like the Nmap, Wireshark, Pursuit, Metasploit, and all. You can go to this Hacky website and do this for your learning purpose. So, cybersecurity is learned by doing, not memorizing. You must do it practically. Now, here are red team and blue team. Red team is for offensive security. These work for ethical hacking and for website testing. And then blue team, these teams work for defensing, like SOC operations, for threat hunting and incident response. And you can also specialize in cloud security, malware research, reverse engineering, threat intelligence, and all. And also, there are certifications that help you improve your skills and prove your skills that you are capable of doing this. For example, CompTIA Security Plus, CEH, EJPT, PNPT, and OSCP. But certifications alone do not make someone skilled. Hands-on practice matters the most. That's why you can practice CTFs on Hacky Security websites also. Then eventually internships, then bug bounty, freelancing, consulting, and then enterprise security. You can do it. So cybersecurity rewards people who keep learning because technology never stops evolving. And the best part is that you can actually start today. Okay, so it is done from my side.
Hello, everyone. How are you feeling today after this good long session? I would like, whosoever want to share something, they can just raise their hand and we can unmute you. I think thank you so much, Miss Chahat. It was so helpful to know. I think we can stay for 10-15 minutes. I know you guys need your participation certificates as well. So just bear me some 15 minutes more, and then we can basically, get you some certificates as well. So perfect. Who wants to share what they have learned today? I think Miss Chahat, you were amazing. Thank you so much. Yes. I
Thank
think
you, ma'am.
Sneha. Yeah, Sneha, your hand is raised already. Do you want to do a sharing? How did you felt and what did you learn today? Come on. Anybody who wants to talk through. This is a stage and a platform.